Hi, I'm Mary, a librarian and book reviewer with a focus on stories written for kids, tweens, and teens. Today I get to share with you this book called The Great Depression, From Hard Times to the New Deal by Tim Stout and Joe Flood, part of the History Comics series. When siblings Cassie and Alex are left without the internet, they decide they're going to pass the time playing a game, one they don't remember having in their house. And when the game suddenly transports them back in time to the Great Depression, they are a little bit surprised. Not only that, but they have to play the game if they ever want to find their way back home again. As they play, they face a lot of danger and uncertainty and discomfort, and they also learn a little bit about the history that has brought the United States to its present time. This history comics is a great way for young readers to learn about the history of the Great Depression, and really older readers too. Any reader who maybe doesn't have a really strong idea of what this time period was like, this book does a good job of synthesizing the high points, the important moments in that time frame, and giving them to readers in a way that they will remember. So it is a graphic novel, definitely better for middle school and up because of the complexity of the story, occasional strong language, but you learn a lot as you're going through this book. So as you see, there's illustrations that go through a fair amount of text in word bubbles, and then you have just the history that is embedded into all of this. So from the start of the Great Depression, why it started, different elements of the progression of the timeline between that and the New Deal about a decade later. So you have a fair amount of time that passes in this book. And luckily, because it is a little bit of that fantasy, magic, realism sort of style, you jump in time a little bit with the characters, which helps the story progress quickly also. You have these cards that appear magically in their pockets that gives them a new task to complete, and with each new task that they complete, they progress farther in the game. And even when they get separated, the two characters find ways that they can immerse themselves in the communities in which they find themselves, and they can learn a little bit more, not only about the time in which they have been suddenly transported, but also how to better work in the time that they exist in at present. So there's a lot of strong messages that kind of come through in this. It also helps readers better understand some of the more complex situations that were happening during this period of time. You have on the cards some more detailed information about what's going on, and then you have just the interactions between characters. So together, those two elements of the text really support each other in that understanding of the history. This is part of a series, so for readers who prefer to get their history through graphic novel format, this is a great way to get started. And then when they find some topics of more interest, they can dive deeper into them in other texts as well. But if you're looking for a good foundation in some historical topics, these books and this series can be a great place to start. If it sounds like a great fit for you or for someone you know, I hope you look for it wherever you get your books.